Alright, Schlockmeisters fans, going to finish off Toxie's Triple Terror Volume 5. We're going to watch something called The Dark Side of Midnight. Let's watch. Our movie starts with a woman getting undressed. She has victim written all over her. And she hears noises in the house.
Dad?
It's not Chuck, though. Victim.
People he's going to murder.
So do they need to
on the mayor to get the city council to approve the necessary funds.
Hire a special prosecutor or
But you're right.
investigator?
Talk to the mayor and see what I can do.
Well, I better get going.
I'll see you later, Ben.
That's the local cop on the left.
When you get the mayor to approve the funds, I know just the man for the job.
I'll keep that in mind.
It's missing. It's out of its frame.
A missing high school graduation picture.
Taken the night of the murder.
Don't touch anything, Mr. Freeman. I'll be right there. This could be the break in the case that we've been looking for.
It's not.
Timmy, don't try and blame this on one of your imaginary friends you make up. I'm not going to play that game.
Babysitter.
I did not make him up. He's real. That's a lie. No, it's not. Okay, show me the man in your closet.
Babysitter's name is Cheryl. And Timmy says there's a man in his closet. Of course, when Cheryl went to look, there was no man in his closet. There never is. Although later on, when she goes to check on Timmy,
Hey, wake up, we've got it.
there is a man in the closet. And as she's trying to call the police, she's gonna run right out the door and cut herself. Cheryl's not dead, though.
Unconscious when she arrived?
She's in the hospital.
Could you please keep me posted on her condition? She's a violent witness to murder. If she comes out of it, I'll call you immediately. I'd appreciate that. Oh, yeah?
The cop bursts into the mayor's office.
Open this door, Bill. I know you're in there.
He wants that special prosecutor or special investigator hired.
Get out of my office. You're trespassing.
You sniveling wimp.
Mayor, do you want me to call the police?
You moron. I am the police. Now beat it.
The mayor approves the special funding to bring in Brock Johnson, special investigator.
The young guy?
Didn't I tell you? He's only 29.
Writer, director Wes Olson.
He's young, but he's the best.
Good to see you, Mr. Fisher.
Good to see you again, young fella. Brock, I'd like you to meet Police Chief Ned Cooper. Ned, this is Brock Johnson.
It's nice to meet you, sir. Ben's told me a lot about you.
Of course, Brock is staying at the house of Ned Cooper. And that's Ned's daughter Jan, who clearly has a thing for Brock Johnson. Brock and Ned explore a house where Timmy was killed, and they find out that somebody had been living in the attic there. And that somebody might still be there. And thus we get our first glimpse of the Creeper. He gets out of there without any issue. These two dopes decide to stay there and stake out the place. And they see the Creeper face to face. Don't chase him though, just sit there. He's gone.
I can to protect the people of this town. And if that means media coverage, by God, I'm going to do it.
By God, he is.
We understand each other. I think you'd better leave. You've gone too far this time, Dad. And this time you're going to pay for it.
Those stories have put me in a very tough position.
A university might be built in their town.
You know, a couple other members of the board phoned me today. They had seen the articles in the newspaper about the murders, and they were wondering if your town has the appropriate atmosphere for a new university to be built in.
I know those articles have put you in a rough spot.
Rough spot isn't the word for it, Bill. I want the university built in your town.
And issue some very
They devised a plan to
statements to the press.
shut
In your windows,
Mr.
of a
Cooper
desire
up.
to make Cooper look bad and send him into hiding. Now, what I need from you is verification. I want you to back up what I'm saying. Your name doesn't even have to be mentioned.
You better take a look.
And the newspaper headline.
Well, I don't know, but as soon as I saw the headline, I brought it right to you. Mayor Riley has asked Police Chief Cooper for his resignation. The mayor said that Cooper's incompetence in handling the investigation of the murders supposedly committed by the Detroit Creeper can no longer be tolerated.
Brock Johnson
Well, Mayor,
steps in to clean
I'm
up.
going to do as I asked. I'm going to go to the press with some very interesting facts on how you were trying to suppress the stories in this town concerning the murders, because they might interfere with the new university you hope to have built here. And if my nose doesn't fail me, it smells like there's a lot of graft involved on your part.
So the creeper is still on the loose. Our Pepsi drinker is going to be the next victim.
I think I can swing the rest of the members of the board.
This guy wants $200,000 from the mayor to build that university. A little funky business is going on.
I can get rid of Cooper by Thursday if you can find a pigeon to frame those murders on. In fact, there's $5,000 in it for you if you can do it.
I can arrange it.
Now the creeper's coming after Jan. That's Brock's new woman. So she calls Brock, and Brock gets there. But the creeper is still lurking about in this apartment building. Brock's gonna get him. They finally are gonna get the creeper. Oh, he got into an elevator. I guess he got away again.
If I was you, I would get here as soon as possible.
They're pulling a con on Mr. Cooper,
Take the first flight out of here.
telling him that his sister is dying.
What hospital is she in?
Vancouver Community Hospital.
Tell her I'm on my way.
So they are conveniently getting him out of town.
Cooper went for it.
So with Cooper out of the way, they decide to arrest some street bum for all the murders.
Get up.
What do you want?
You're under arrest.
What for?
Murder.
Lieutenant, how about a statement?
15-year-old girl named Linda.
819 Evergreen Drive. Thank you.
Goodbye, Linda. Creeper's still on the loose, of course.
Thought you might like to see the paper, Ned.
And guess where that university is being built?
Decision on where they're going to build a new university. They're going to build it in Newton.
Newton? Looks like the mayor got the short end of the stick on his university deal.
Yeah, they couldn't happen to a nicer guy. Special assignment with the Fort Smith
So the creeper's been
Police
sending typewritten letters to the police. The recent letter had a
You in the last
correction
couple of
made
days
on
by
it.
chance fixed an old Charger portable typewriter.
Yes, I have.
Was the letter T striking about a half line high?
Well, yes, it was.
Would you have an address or a phone number of the person who brought that typewriter in to have fixed?
Yeah, I believe I do. Just hold on and I'll get it for you.
So they go over to that address, which of course is the creeper's house. They just break in. I should say Brock breaks in. He's now confirmed that this typewriter belongs to the killer. Creeper comes home, a chase ensues. No other cops around, mind you, just Brock went by himself. comes the axe-wielding creeper. He lures him into this other house, which he's covered with gasoline. And the creeper's gonna blow.
Gonna be leaving in the morning.
Brock's going to San Francisco for a new case.
Have you ever been to San Francisco? Why didn't you come with me?
Oh, Brock, I love you.
End of our film. Hell of a film.
Okay, let's talk about this movie. It's called The Dark Side of Midnight. It's a horror movie that came out in the 80s that I never heard of, and probably with good reason, because it's awful. It was made in 1984. It's very cheap. Probably had a budget of about $1,000, if that. And it looks like it was just made by a guy named Wes Olson, I believe was his name, who actually was the star of this movie too. And it looks like he just probably made this movie with a bunch of friends. If you click on his IMDb link, it's the only thing he ever did. Most of the people in this movie also did just this film. I don't think there was any swearing in this movie either. Every time they could have said ass, they said butt. And there's just no language, no nudity. I think there was basically one gore scene. Unfortunately, it was a 6-year-old boy with his throat slashed in his bed. Other than that, no gore, no nothing, and just a lot of bad acting in this movie. But in some cases, the acting was so bad that it was funny. It was pretty funny. It was ridiculous. It was not shot on video, though, so it did look like it was made with, decent equipment and such. But, wow, low budget. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, so we got a guy called the Creeper who is creeping around this town, killing people, sometimes living in their attics, and then coming down and killing the people. And it was just weird because there was that one scene where he was going after Jan, and Brock showed up at the door, and the Creeper went down the hallway and got on an elevator. And as soon as he got on the elevator and the door closed, Brock was like, oh, well, he got away. No, he could have run downstairs. He's like on the 2nd floor. He could have stopped him at the bottom or called the police or done something, called for backup, whatever. Nope, he just stood there by the door defeated like, oh, he got away. Damn elevator. Oh, just an awful, awful movie, but it is fun on a bad sense. So again, never heard of this thing before. I'm thinking it probably was released on VHS on some cheap label, probably. I never saw it any store anywhere, and Troma has now picked this thing up and placed it on their Toxies Triple Terror Volume 5 of the which also features Nightfall and Nightmare Weekend, 2 of them that I've already reviewed. So I'm done with this one. So on to the other 4 that I still have to review. These are hard to get through sometimes. So anyway, check it out. It's called The Dark Side of Midnight. It's something. No nudity. There's not a lot going for it, but whatever, right? Check it out. Let me know what you think about it. Leave some comments down below. We'll talk about it. Bye. Watch it if you dare.